Hey guys, Desi here with E-Asylum, ready to bring you fellas what you need and definitely what you want. From cars to video games and the hottest celebs. You don't want to miss what I've got in store for you, so keep it locked right here on E-Asylum, your entertainment gone mad. Alright, here's a question for you. What would you do if you were left all alone in a big city? Besides relying on old Lefty there. Well, here's one dude who had New York City all to himself. Let's find out what he did to keep busy. It's Will Smith in I Am Legend.
I'm a survivor living in New York City. I will be at the South Street Seaport every day at midday, when the sun is highest in the sky.
From the 1954 science fiction novel by Richard Matheson comes the fourth film adaptation starring Will Smith as Robert Neville in I Am Legend, the post-apocalyptic story about the possible last man alive on planet Earth.
God didn't do this. We did.
Unlike the novel's previous film adaptations, the producers of I Am Legend decided to move its story from sunny LA to the capital of the world, turning the overpopulated New York City into an abandoned and desolate wasteland. So what drew The Fresh Prince to be part of such a sci-fi thriller?
What I loved is that it wasn't a horror movie. It's scary, but it's not a horror movie. You know, it's not an action movie. There's great sequences, but it's not an action movie.
And how did Will prepare for the role of such a solitary character?
I had no frame of reference for being by myself. You know, so I did research with former POWs and found people who had been in solitary confinement. And, you know, I spent some time by myself, just 3-4 days. It makes you, it really does make you crazy.
So if you want to see what New York City will look like in the next few years, then check out I Am Legend, now in theaters.
What the f is up with this country these days? Steven will tell you.
What's going on? Stephen Fabian here for another WTF News. Professional wrestling legend Hulk Hogan has finally met his match, and no, it's not a 6'9", one-eyed, mask-wearing giant from parts unknown. It's a more unlikely opponent, his wife. That's right, Linda Bollea, longtime wife of the Hulkster and co-star of VH1's Hogan Knows Best, has filed for divorce and is allegedly taking her former beau to the metaphorical cleaners. Not to worry though, all you Hulkamaniacs, because the former champ's got a plan to wrestle the money away from his wife's Cobra Clutch. He's contacted the Macho Man Randy Savage about appearing as the special guest judge and hired The Undertaker as his divorce lawyer. And just to be safe, it's also been rumored that Hulk plans to announce that the hearing be held in an impromptu steel cage Hell in a Cell with no holds or objections barred. And if all that fails, there's always the leg drop. Good luck, Hulk. Don't forget to say your prayers, eat your vitamins. We're all behind you, brother. In a study about the origin of human homosexuality, University of Illinois at Chicago researchers were able to alter a gene in a species of fruit flies, causing the insects to turn gay. Talk about living up to your name, fruit fly. Then, in turn, these scientists were able to change the gene again, thus turning the flies back into being as hetero as ever. This flip-flopping of sexual orientation has many in Hollywood up in arms, namely Anne Heche, who's claimed that she was a test subject in a similar experiment, though done with humans, of course, back in 1997. Nevertheless, interesting discoveries were made while the flies were indeed light in their loafers. Many painted their wings to look more vibrant and colorful, while others belted out their favorite Cher tunes in perfect flamboyant and lispy fashion. Upon being morphed back into straight, everyday fruit flies, however, they went back to their usual routines of watching SportsCenter, high-fiving, and calling each other broski and dude man. I'm Stephen Fabian for WTF News, and keep it here for more E-Asylum.
Strippers. They live among us like ordinary people, sipping lattes at Starbucks, reading a book at the bus stop. Well, maybe not reading. They could even be your own girlfriend. But for most guys, it's always been a challenge to pick up a stripper at a club. So, here's Saima to the rescue with a few helpful tips on how to pick up a stripper.
For many guys, picking up a stripper is the ultimate conquest. By pulling this off, you have a great time and become the envy of your friends. But a bit of a warning. Trying to pick up a stripper requires you to be on top of your game. If you're confident enough and have a plan of action, you can fulfill your dreams of picking up a stripper. Step 1. Fit an image. Typically, strippers go for a certain personality in men who are edgy and live an exciting life. You should try to create an image for yourself that'll make yourself stand out from the average guy. Step 2. Pick a slow night. If you're serious about trying to pick up a stripper, you have to stand out from the crowd. One of the best ways to do this is to go during the right time. Try to pick nights where business is slow and she has time to talk. This works because there'll be less men vying for her affection. Step 3. Bring a female friend. Strippers love having other women around. If you can bring an attractive female with you to the club, you'll definitely attract her attention. Typically, strippers like to compete for men's attention. If your female friend is hot enough, you'll validate yourself by having her with you. By doing this, a stripper will want to work hard for your attention. Step 4. Be cool. Your actions inside the club will dictate how a stripper will perceive you. A stripper will be attracted to you if you appear not to care about her affections. This means sitting away from the main stage area where the girls are dancing, not tipping the dancers, but tipping the bartender really well, avoiding the standard stripper services, and engaging other people in conversation. Step 5. Be interesting. When you see a stripper you particularly like, engage her in conversation. Your goal during this discussion is to be a mysterious person who is both charming and engaging. By acting in a friendly but aloof manner, you'll become a prize to her. As a result, she'll start to work for your attention. If you work your conversation well, you can easily get her number and set up an encounter outside the club. Then it's just a matter of using your attraction skills to build towards intimacy. If you play your cards right and use the attraction building techniques, you'll find it easy to pick up a stripper. And remember, for more sexy tips, stay right here on E-Asylum.
Coming up on E-Asylum, interviews with the cast of Cloverfield, an inside look at Nissan's upcoming GTR, and some girl-on-girl action. Keep it here on E-Asylum.